Aquarius, something has felt slightly off in a conversation you have been putting off, and you cannot quite name why. Maybe it is the tone in a text that did not sit right. Maybe it is a financial detail you keep meaning to clarify, but keep avoiding. Here is the strange part. The same sky that seems to be asking you to guard your words is also opening a door to real financial momentum today. Those two things sound like they contradict each other. They do not. And once you see how they connect, a lot of what has been quietly bothering you starts to make sense. The bigger picture. Right now, in Western tropical astrology, a slow-moving planet is making its way through Aries in your third house, the zone of communication, transport, media, siblings, and neighbors. This is not a quick visit. It is a multi-year passage that continues into 2028, and it has already been testing your patience around exactly these areas. A sibling relationship, a piece of technology, a delayed message. These small frustrations are not random. They are part of a longer lesson about staying grounded while everything around you moves fast. Layered on top of that structural pressure, today's moon in Virgo sits in your 8th house, the house of intimacy, shared money, and emotional truth. From a psychological and evolutionary lens, this placement is quincunx to that same planet holding court in your 3rd house. A quincunx is an awkward angle. It means the emotional depth of the 8th house and the practical demands of the 3rd house are not speaking the same language today. That is why timing and wording matter more than usual. Now here is where it gets interesting. In Vedic or sidereal astrology, the moon is calculated differently, and today it lands in Leo rather than Virgo. That roughly 24-degree gap between the two zodiac systems means Western and Vedic astrologers are technically describing two different lunar positions, yet they arrive at a strikingly similar message. Vedic tradition sees this Leo moon lighting up financial opportunity for working professionals, rewarding innovation and self-reliance. Western tradition sees the Virgo moon asking for precision before money or trust are exchanged. Different signs, different suns, different systems, same underlying truth. Opportunity is real today, but it wants to be handled carefully, not carelessly. There is a third thread here too. An evolutionary reading of today's energy suggests this is a moment for releasing old patterns and reinvesting in who you are becoming. That fits perfectly with the Saturn-style pressure in your 3rd house and the introspective pull of the 8th. You are being asked to communicate more honestly while also doing quiet work on yourself. That combination is rarely comfortable. It is usually exactly what creates growth. Love. If you have felt someone pull back slightly today, or noticed yourself wanting to retreat rather than explain something, that is not a coincidence. The moon's transit through your 8th house puts you in what feels like private, almost incognito mode, even with people closest to you. You may not want to disclose more than necessary right now, and that includes matters of the heart. Here is the question worth sitting with. Is that distance a sign something is wrong, or is it simply your own need for internal processing before you are ready to speak? For those in relationships, this is likely the second option. Couples may actually feel a quiet sense of safety today, even if conversation feels lighter than usual. The instinct to go inward is not rejection. It is preparation. The tricky part is that the same 8th house energy, combined with that awkward angle to your communication sector, can make a sensitive topic land wrong if you rush it. A vulnerable message sent at the wrong moment, in the wrong format, can create more confusion than clarity. For singles, a touch of loneliness may surface today, and that is worth naming rather than pushing away. It does not mean nothing meaningful is available. It often means your emotional radar is simply more sensitive right now, picking up on the 8th house's demand for depth over small talk. If a real conversation about feelings or finances is overdue with someone in your life, today's energy does not ask you to avoid it. It asks you to choose the setting carefully. a phone call instead of a text, a quiet moment instead of a rushed exchange between errands. Some things genuinely deserve more than a notification banner, and when you give them that respect, the outcome tends to land far more gently than you expect. Career. That same third house transit shaping your patience lesson also touches your professional communication, especially anything involving media, transport, or coordination with colleagues who feel more like neighbors than strangers. If a work relationship has felt like a slow grind rather than a straightforward partnership, that is consistent with a multi-year influence, not a one-day mood. But professionally, today carries a brighter undertone. The Vedic reading of this Leo moon points toward genuine financial opportunity for working professionals, and it credits perseverance and self-reliance as the real keys to unlocking it. You are, after all, associated with innovation, and today rewards original thinking over following someone else's script. The catch is that the same precision your 8th house moon is asking for in personal matters applies here too. An opportunity may show up today, but how you word your pitch, your email, or your ask matters as much as the idea itself. Money. This is where the bigger picture truly comes together. Financial gains are genuinely on the table today, particularly if you are willing to think creatively rather than follow the obvious path. At the same time, the 8th house moon governs shared resources, joint money, and financial agreements, and its awkward angle to your communication planet suggests this is not a day for vague promises or assumed understanding. If a money conversation is coming up, whether it is a raise, a shared expense, or a financial commitment with a partner, write it down. Ask the direct question instead of hinting at it. Financial issues may feel more emotionally loaded than usual, so give yourself time before finalizing a decision rather than reacting in the moment. The opportunity is real. The protection you build around it through clear language is what determines whether it actually benefits you. Health. Here is the part worth paying closest attention to today. The instinct toward going inward, staying quiet, and processing things privately is not just an emotional pattern. It is connected to genuine well-being. You may feel drawn toward a more intense exercise routine right now, and that impulse is worth honoring, but keep any seasonal allergies in mind before pushing your body harder than it is ready for. The deeper insight is this. What looks like withdrawal or secrecy today may actually be your mind asking for space to finish processing something, whether that is a personal decision, a creative project, or simply an emotional loose end from recent weeks. Rather than fighting that pull, working with it tends to serve you better. A short walk without your phone, 10 minutes of journaling, or simply sitting with a question instead of rushing to answer it can do more for you today than trying to power through with noise and distraction. This is not about isolating yourself from life. It is about resurfacing only once you have genuinely worked something out in your own head, rather than half processing it out loud. Home and family, siblings and neighbors carry unusual weight during this ongoing third house passage, and today may bring a small reminder of that. It could be a logistical tangle, a miscommunication, or simply a moment where patience with a family member runs thinner than usual. Try to remember this pattern is not about that one relationship. It is about a longer lesson in staying steady while circumstances around you keep shifting. On the home front, the same 8th house privacy that shapes your love life today extends to family and close friendships too. You may prefer a quieter evening at home over a wider social gathering, and that instinct deserves respect rather than guilt. Couples living together may find comfort in shared quiet time rather than deep conversation tonight, which fits the emotionally safe undertone this transit brings to committed relationships. Travel and spirit. Transport and travel themes run through today in an interesting way. That ongoing third house influence favors shorter, domestic movement, whether that is public transport, a road trip, or even something as ordinary as car trouble demanding your attention. If you drive an electric vehicle, Do not be surprised if today is the day it needs a little unexpected care. On a deeper level, this is a good day to consider where genuine rest lives for you. Coastal escape, even one you only imagine right now, like Turkey's shoreline, speaks to a real need for peace after a stretch of mental effort. Spiritually, the eighth house's pull toward introspection pairs naturally with this. Before you plan the next big move, physical or emotional, give yourself permission to sit with an unfinished thought a little longer. Some answers only arrive in stillness, not in motion. Lucky signs. If you want to lean into today's favorable financial current, gray is considered a supportive color to wear, aligning with the steadier, more grounded energy running beneath today's opportunities. The window between 7 and 9 in the evening carries a particularly favorable charge, making it a smart time to schedule an important conversation or finalize a decision you have been sitting with. Compatible energy today favors people who communicate directly and do not need everything spelled out twice, a quality worth noticing in both work and personal exchanges. Tay's guidance. If there is one thread pulling every part of today together, it is this. Precision protects opportunity, the financial door that is opening for you, the emotional conversation you have been avoiding, the family tension around logistics, all of it responds better to clarity than to assumption. Ask the direct question. Write down the agreement instead of trusting memory. Choose a call over a rushed message when something matters. The patience this year keeps asking of you is not punishment. It is practice for handling bigger opportunities well, the kind you are being shown a glimpse of today. Trust that the parts of yourself you are protecting right now are not hiding from the world. They are getting ready to meet it on steadier ground.